China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
Hey everyone, this is China Chicken. Welcome to my channel, and we're going to be doing a box score breakdown of the Buffalo Bills versus Cleveland Browns game. This is the third to last game of the regular season. The Bills end up winning 23-20, and the Bills go to 11-4 and 5-3 away, so that was their last away game. And then the Browns go to 3-12 and 2-6 at home. So rough season for the Browns. That seems like a norm for them. A lot of rough seasons over the last forever. So too bad for the Browns. It wasn't a great game for the Bills, but they won. So let's look at the stats here. We have Josh Allen. I heard in terms of fantasy, this was Josh Allen's worst game of fantasy ever, maybe, or since his rookie year. So that's kind of crazy to think about, but you can see why. He had 0 touchdowns passing. He went 12 for 19, 130 yards. He took 2 sacks for 35 yards. He did have 0 interceptions, no turnovers in general for the Bills, but no touchdowns as well for Josh Allen. So kind of a rough game for Josh. He did get hurt towards halftime there and went to the locker room early, came out. He seemed fine, but I'm sure it was still affecting him. Cleveland's passing, Shedeur Sanders, he kind of surprised me a little bit. He went 20 for 29, 157 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He also took 2 sacks for 21 yards. And he got hurt, too, around the same time, a little bit before Josh Allen, where he tore his nail off his pinky finger or something like that on his throwing hand. So that was kind of rough. The 2 interceptions he had were kind of rough too. It was the Bills players able to get a hand on it, and the defensive line, which they were probably taught to this whole week, told get your hands up if you can't get to the quarterback, try and knock some passes down. They ended up getting deflected and then intercepted by the Bills, both of them. And then, it's kind of weird. Corey Borquez, their punter, I know him because he was with the Bills a few years ago. He went 0 for 1, and the reason why that happened was he was holding a punt holding for the kicker, and something went awry. I don't know if it was his fault, but he rolled out of there and tried to throw it, and he just ended up throwing it away. So a worse play didn't end up happening. Also, Dillon Gabriel, the backup quarterback who started for a little while for the Browns this year, he came in when Shedeur Sanders hurt his hand just for one play, and I think he took a sack. That was it. So, and that was actually an important play. That was in the red zone. I think they're on the 5-yard line trying to score a touchdown, and it was a 3rd down. So he got sacked for 2 yards, and then they ended up kicking a field goal. So Bills rushing, James Cook had a good game, 16 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a long of 44, and that was a touchdown there. It was a 44-yard run. Most of this came in the first half, though. I think he was over 100 yards just in the first half, so not too much in the second half. But yeah, still a good game overall. And I believe he is leading the league in rushing, so he might win that rushing title with 2 more games. Although Jonathan Taylor, who's right behind him, still plays tonight and then has 2 games after that. So we'll see if James Cook can bring home the rushing title. Josh Allen ran it 7 times for 17 yards. Wow. Did have a long of 7, but there was a couple tush pushes in there. Ty Johnson, 3 for 16. Ray Davis, 3 for 14. Not much. Ty Johnson did get a touchdown, though. So as you can see, the Bills' touchdowns came from their running game here, and they missed an extra point, obviously. So, yeah. Cleveland's rushing. Shedeur Sanders, okay, that's their, quarterback. He had 4 carries for 49 yards. And Raheem Sanders, who's their backup running back because their starter, Quinshon Judkins, got his leg broken, I believe. So he's out for the year. Rookie. That was looking good. So unfortunate for him. But Sanders to Sanders, 11 carries for 42 yards. And then Malachi Corley, I think he's a receiver. He did a couple around the back plays. 3 of them for 30 yards. Okay, and then not much after that. They ran it with quite 7 guys run the ball. That's kind of interesting. Bills receiving, Khalil Shakir, 4 for 34. I can't believe, that's the most on the team. We've seen way too much of this year where your leading receiver has less than 50 yards. That's not a good sign, in my opinion. They need some better receivers this offseason. 4 for 34 on 5 targets. Jackson Hawes, 2 for 26 on 2 targets. Tyrell Shavers, 1 for 21 on 2 targets, and not much after that. And then no receiving touchdowns. Dawson Knox did drop a touchdown in the end zone towards the end of the game. That would have given them a 10-point lead, but he dropped it. That was rough for him. Cleveland's receiving, not much better. Travion Williams, 4 for 38. Fannin, he looks good, tight end. 4 for 34 and a touchdown. Judkins, the running back, wow, he had 5 catches before he got hurt. And then somehow Isaiah Bond got 20. I don't know if this is wrong or something. Someone let me know what happened here. But 0 catches on 0 targets, and he got 21 yards. How does that happen? I can't even think. But just let me know down in the comments if you know what happened here. Jerry Jeudy, 3 for 12. Okay, nothing there. And nothing after that. So Bills did pretty good. Both teams did good in the secondary here, defending against the pass. Corey Borquez, like I said earlier, he fumbled and recovered his own fumble. That was from that kick that got screwed up. I'm not really sure what happened there. Jordan Poyer ended up with 11 tackles and a half a sack and a tackle for loss. Milano, 9 tackles and tackle for loss. Cole Bishop, 7 and tackle for loss. Greg Rousseau really had the game, though, and this came right at the end of the game. He had, 3 tackles, 2.5 sacks. So good game for Greg Rousseau there. On Cleveland, their defense, Carson Schwessinger. So this guy is a rookie. He's actually in the lead for Rookie of the Year, I believe. So good game for him. 14 tackles, a sack. So, hey, Schwessinger seems to be a pretty good pick for the Browns. And then not too much after that. I believe Garrett, was credited with half a sack along with Alex Wright there. So Garrett's looking to get that record for the most sacks ever in history for the NFL. I think he still needs 1 more sack to pass or maybe tie or something. I'm not sure. But he's got 2 games to do it. Interceptions. Jordan Poyer had an interception off of a deflection. He returned it for 10 yards. And then same thing with Daquan Jones, another deflection on the defensive line, and he was able to snag that. I believe Bosa tipped the second one. I'm not sure who tipped the first one. Ray Davis had 4 kick returns for 92 yards, so pretty good. Corley, 4 for 107, good for him. Punt returns we won't talk about. Kicking was all right. Badgley was 1 for 1 on field goals, which the Bills just signed this guy. And then he missed an extra point. Schmidt, 2 for 2 and 2 for 2. And that's it for the box score. Let's go through the team stats now. We got Bills first downs, Cleveland. Okay, Cleveland had more first downs in this game. Kind of interesting. 8-6 on passing, 12-10 on rushing. They got 2 first downs from penalties. Third down efficiency, pretty good. 8 for 14. Bills were 2 for 8. Ugh. Wow. And then 0 for 1 and 0 for 2 on 4th down. So, man, not a good game for the Bills. I'm surprised they won this game. Just looking at the box score and the stats, it looks like the Bills lost. But the 2 interceptions is what did it, I guess. Total plays, 64-50. Total yards, 294-259. Same drives. 4.6 yards per play. Bills 5.2. Passing, they did better. Again, the interceptions. Sacks were about the same. Rushing, about the same, honestly. If you look at it here, even yards per rush, Bills edged them out a little bit there. Penalties about the same, too. 5 for 35 and 5 for 44. But turnovers, again, that's the game. There's turnovers. I bet most games, you look at the stats here, it's 75% because of the turnovers, whatever way the game goes, whoever wins. So if you win the turnover battle, especially by 2 or more, you're most likely going to win the game. Same with time of possession. That's important too, but that usually goes hand in hand in a way. So Bills don't win that battle in the time of possession either. So overall, horrible game for the Bills, but they ended up winning in Cleveland. So hey, it's a win. We just need the win here. Get in the playoffs. I think they're close to being in the playoffs. They just need the Colts to lose tonight, and they should be in. Bills got Eagles and Jets to end the season. The Jets will be the last game in Highmark Stadium ever, unless they pull off a miracle here and end up getting some playoff games at Highmark Stadium. So there we go. Let's go Bills.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.